back here. I will be back here. And I will be back with another vengeance.
Yeah, we'll lick our wounds. We'll get over this. We'll be fired up for next year.
Garoppolo has time, stands in, going deep, going for it all, and it's caught for the touchdown! On fourth down, Deebo Samuel for 6. Garoppolo's got all day. He's going to launch it deep down the field, going for it all, and getting it! Emmanuel Sanders, not touched, still on his feet, inside the 10, and he scores! 75-yard bomb from Jimmy Garoppolo to Emmanuel Sanders. Wilson, pressure off the edge, releases it, and it is intercepted by Greenlaw. Trey Greenlaw now on the return. As he's still on his feet with blockers in front. Trey Greenlaw down the sideline. Can you believe this?
Looks like football, baby.
Pass is caught. Kittle breaks one tackle. Another. Wow, what a touchdown for George Kittle. Goff throws and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Warner. Fred Warner for the touchdown. Jeff Wilson has come in at running back. Garoppolo's throw is caught by Jeff Wilson. He's going to score a touchdown for the 49ers.
And the pass is going to be picked off by Bosa. Nick Bosa. Can't bring him down till he gets to the 8-yard line. Wow.
Now Evans in the slot. Winston picked off. It is Richard Sherman, who did not have an interception last year, and he returns it all the way for a 49ers touchdown, 32-yard.
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play. And the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George Kittle. Taking on everybody.
Feels great, baby.
Oh shit, motherfuckers, puppy cunts. I'm feeling real fucking good. There is a lot to discuss tonight. I am fucking pumped. I am internally pumped. I feel like somebody put the high test in me. I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I've been showered in placenta, and I am ready to fucking party. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Gold Blooded Podcast. My name is Joey. I'm joined by Robert and Michael. Say hello, everyone. No one says hello. And we're going to move on.
Way to ruin it, Kern.
So we are here. We are hyped. The Niners just beat the Rams. It reopens all sorts of doors for the possibilities. We got some players back. We're here. Bob, do you want to get right into this? Or do we want to talk a little bit?
I was trying to Google what the definition of bipolar.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus Christ. What happened to you?
About why?
The NFL is piss poor. This is a disgrace.
Yes.
And then today it's, I'm pumped. I'm feeling great.
Hold on. I'm pumped about the 49ers. I am disgusted with the NFL and Roger Goodell. But we could talk about that.
We will.
Niners win. Daddy's happy. You know this.
Let's get the details out of the way.
We can
get right into this.
Yeah.
After we recorded last time, K'Wan Williams' 2-game suspension was overturned. Said something about a faulty test or some bullshit.
Okay.
Prior to the game, we activated Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Ronas Grasu, Joe Walker, and Trent Williams off the reserved COVID-19 list.
Did Grasu play?
I believe so.
Okay.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't play center.
Mm-hmm.
Brunskill's the new center, and I got a feeling he's our center next year. I predicted that way back, remember?
Yes, you did. He also didn't play right guard. It was McKivitz, I guess the rookie we drafted.
So Grasu was maybe just a backup?
Yep.
But he was active.
Yep.
We signed wide receiver Jordan Matthews to the practice squad. You may remember he was with us last year for a little while.
Yep, ex-Charger.
We also released wide receiver Chris Fink from the practice squad at the same time.
Come on, that's Finky.
We activated running back Raheem Mostert, running back Jeff Wilson, and cornerback Richard Sherman for this game.
Sherm Daddy.
And Deebo was not on IR. He was just inactive each week. He was finally active again this week.
Oh, and was he ever?
We also waived safety Chris Edwards.
Later.
During the game, we had 2 injuries. Jamar Taylor tore his ACL. He's on season-ending IR.
You knew it in his face.
And cornerback Ken Webster tore his hamstring pretty severely, and he's on season-ending IR.
Okay. Add to the fucking pile of people we have in that fucking
It looks
party
like
boat.
looks like Akella Witherspoon might get another chance to play football with us.
Unreal, huh?
Without these injuries, he was going to be healthy inactive every week. The good news is Emmanuel Mosley jumped right into the slot corner, and played pretty well. He had a little rough start getting back in there, but he played pretty well. And what a huge benefit to have Sherman back and have Mosley ready to step in.
Right.
Huge.
He came in at a time when the game was really the momentum was
was
with
rough.
so that was a terrible time, for something like that to happen. But okay, so before we get into the nuts and bolts of the game, we know we like to do this. How everybody watched the game.
Yeah.
Bob, how'd you do?
Mine's pretty long.
Okay. Hey.
So normally I'm not asked to do anything family related or friend related on a Sunday because of football game, unless we're off. I stepped up and said I would play. I'd be a good daddy on Sunday.
Okay.
And record the game and watch it when we got back from cutting down our Christmas tree.
Well, okay. I mean, respectable.
If the record wasn't 4-6, I probably wouldn't have.
Understand.
If we were, 6-4,
Yeah.
we probably would have cut a tree down a different day.
Or earlier in the day type of deal.
Something.
Yeah.
So I said, I got this. I'll record the game. I set the game to record. We have 2 TVs upstairs. In the room I planned on watching, I left the TV on a channel that would be innocuous.
Okay.
At about 4, just before 4, I shut my phone off. We were out at the tree farm.
Right.
Shut my phone off to make sure I was going to get nothing. No ESPN updates, no texts. And even like you guys wouldn't text if I told you not to, but if something wild happens, I'll get texts from random fans here and there. You never know. So all goes well. On the way home, I realized this is going to be a big ordeal. I mean, we didn't leave the tree farm till 4:30. We're not getting home till after 5. And then I realized I got to cut the extra inch off and put it in the stand and put it in the water.
Let it rest and the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing. So I realized I'm not going to get to this game till 6:37. So I get everything set up. I go grab pizza for the family. I come back. All right, I'm ready to watch this game.
What time?
I don't even remember. It was close to 7.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe 6.
So the game's almost over.
6:30. Well, I'll tell you exactly where it was. Don't worry.
Oh, no.
Don't worry.
I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going.
I tell my wife, I realize I'm going to have to watch in the other room, not the TV I had set up originally.
Yeah.
So I say, do me a favor. I'm going to go in the other room and change, turn the TV on, and just put it on a channel that means nothing.
Right.
Put it on a weird random channel that has nothing to do with sports. No problem. I go get changed. I come out of the room. She leaves the living room to go do something else. I'm frustrated. Like, you couldn't to put the TV on before you left? All right, I'll handle this myself. I'm impatient. I'll handle this myself. We have DirecTV. There's a lag. When you turn it on, you can change the channel.
Yeah.
So I turn it on. I hit some innocuous channel, some random channel. I wait a second. The screen pops on, and it's a football game. And it's whatever the late game was, whatever shit game that nobody gave a fuck about that was on instead of the 49er game, as always.
Yeah.
And the one score on the bottom of the screen, the whole entire league is playing.
Yeah.
There's one score on the bottom of the screen. One fucking score. And it says San Francisco 17, Rams 6.
Okay.
So it's third quarter.
Yeah.
About 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I went, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Right.
Like, what are the fucking chances that's the game on?
Right.
I put it on a different channel. I happened to accidentally pick the channel the fuck another game was on.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally, under my breath, muttered, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, I was going to do that.
Yeah, of course you were.
And I go, this isn't your fault. this is my fault. This is my impatience.
Right.
I'm starting this game 2.5 hours late, and I couldn't wait 5 more minutes for you. This is on me. This is 100% my fault. Mm-hmm. I'm the impatient asshole that had to do it myself because I was impatient, and I got what I deserved. No big deal. But they're winning.
Right, so it's not as bad. Right. Yeah, not the end 100%. Of the world. Right, yeah.
100. And at the time, I didn't know what was going to happen or what had happened up to that point. Yeah. So I was like, cool. I'm happy watching the whole game.
Yeah.
Right? Like the whole... I start the game, and I know we're going to be up at least 17-6 by the third quarter. Yep. So it's going great. I'm like, this is awesome. Happy-go-lucky watching the game. Well, I think that score lasted approximately 30 seconds before the Rams scored a touchdown. And then they scored again and took the lead. And I was like, oh, that was fucking cool. I'm glad I got to think we won this fucking game. And now it looks like we're going to fucking lose. And then I got the range of emotions. Then we came back and tied it. And I was...
So you started from that point at 17?
No, I started from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I watched the whole thing because I knew we were going to talk about it.
Right.
And also, because we're winning... I'm going to enjoy this 3 quarters of winning football.
Okay. So
it might be my last 3 quarters of winning football all year. I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it.
So did you get the update that we won while you were still...
No, I kept everything off.
Okay.
Nope, okay. I went dark. So it was still a pretty good experience because instead of, had I turned it on at, they were winning, then I would have been bummed to watch the first 3 quarters. Had I turned it on... At the end, it would have fucked. So it was okay.
It was as good as it was as good as a fucked up situation could have been. Okay. Sure. Curran, you got anything about how you watched? You came home from work, right?
Yep. Typically, when they start at 4:05 or 4:25, I get home right when halftime begins or ends, depends on however long.
4:25 or 4:05. Yeah.
Yep. Typically, I can find a stream. I have a website that I go and I Sundays aren't really busy at the hospital, so I get to find little cubby holes. I go sneak away, watch pretty much the whole first half, and then second half I was able to just watch right at home, and nothing too special. No having to record it at all or anything like that.
Okay, so I got to give you what my little ditty here, Rob, and you are going to appreciate this because you know the as you just said, the bipolar. So Niners are winning. Throughout, in control from the jump, winning the game. Things are going smooth enough at Casa de Joey, right? Things are fine. Baby's there. She's actually engaged, watching the game. Okay. Things start to go the Rams' way, and they take the lead at the end of the third quarter. Now, normally, Rob, you can attest to this. 9 times out of 10, when that happens, in my head, I say, I know the outcome of this fucking game. It's over. No chance the Niners are coming back. I don't even need to watch it. Fuck it. I don't even need to see this. Fuck this. I'll turn it off. I'll walk in the other room. I'll come back. I'll turn it on. I'll sit there. I'll fucking stew. But for some reason, that wasn't what I did. I walked. After they scored the touchdown to go up to 17-20, I walked into the bedroom, I took off whatever shirt I had on, and I put on this jersey, the Patrick Willis jersey. I got my hatchet axe, and I walked back into the living room, and I told Jessica she had to sit at the kitchen table. And I paced in front of the TV while screaming, all 11 on the field need the heart of Patrick Willis! The entire time while swinging the axe like a fucking madman. I did this for the entire fourth quarter and just would scream like Deebo made that play where he just plowed people. I go, that's the heart of Patrick Willis! And I'm turning around. I'm like, baby, they have the heart of Willis. They have the heart. And I'm just screaming and waving the axe around and around. And then I think they got the lead, or they got the tie. And I took the axe and I placed it in front of the TV like a sacrifice. And I sat on my knees for the duration of that. And I was silent. And then when they won, I just fucking raged. I was just running around. The woman who lives downstairs from us must fucking hate me on Sundays. Oh, good fucking time. So, with all that said, 23.
Well, hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Okay.
Because I was on the other end of that.
Yeah, I texted you, yeah.
Conversation. And I will say, you and me were conversating. We were going back and forth about the game. And if I wasn't me, I completely understand. I don't know if Steve ever said this, but I know Rob has said this. I do understand from their perspective why they would not want to text you during the game. Because it is very, very back and forth. There's one play, oh, did you see that Kinlaw? Fucking sexy. And then the very next play, McGlinchey gives up a sack or something happens. And it is completely 180. So as the game goes on, it's kind of back and forth. But you and me we were agreeing on most of that shit. I'd probably be annoying as well.
Kern probably had a decent upbringing. He hasn't had this much exposure to a bipolar maniac.
Yeah. But, I mean, he could say what he wants right now, but we both agreed at the time that Mike McGlinchey needs to get off his fat fucking ass and play better.
Yes.
Or he needs to get fat again. Remember, he's skinny now. Maybe that's the problem.
That is the problem. Everybody wants to look good for the pussy. He needs to find a piece of pussy and get fucking fat again. So, regardless, the Niners won the game 23-20 on a fucking last-minute Bobby Gold field goal. The racist boss won that, but 21-20. So
you gotta love Ramsey's offside to give us an extra 5 yards.
Oh my God, how fucking key. How key. And that guy's such a cuck, right? So fuck him.
When they played the replay, I was watching to see if we did something to draw
That's
that.
what I was...
And I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
There's always like a timing, like the kicker looks at and then he looks, and I wonder, like, you got to be able to use that to your advantage. Everyone knows that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So if you both say, we're going to do this, do not snap it when I do it, wait for the second time, there's got to be a way to draw them off.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, because then it would have put it at 52 yards, which would have made it real dicey considering he missed the 50 earlier in the game. But, when that one... Once they got to 42, I was...
Game over.
You don't ever want to be real confident, but,
It's also easier to be confident knowing that if he misses it, you're going to overtime.
Overtime,
you don't
right?
lose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hey, I know we're going to get into it now, but I know he won't be the offensive beast of the week this week. But as far as I'm concerned, hats off to Nick Mullins. It needed 2 drives to get in field goal position, and he got him down there both times. I mean,
yeah, it's like anything else. It can go both ways because we shouldn't have needed 2 drives to
Right.
get back into it because he shouldn't have thrown that awful pick that he threw. I mean, one of them was fucking terrible. One of them got tipped. The other one was terrible.
yeah, the first one that got tipped was genuinely...
That happens, but the other one was fucking terrible.
Agreed, yeah.
He wasn't doing shit for a long time there when they got back into the
Yeah.
game. So, it's like anything else. He did, when the chips were down, he got us back in and we won the game.
Right, agreed.
Or did he just get the ball to Deebo and Deebo got us back in the game?
Yeah, but
let's be realistic.
He had that shot to use check down the field, which was a tough throw, and he did hit Deebo at one point in a real tight window.
And we won the game.
If we didn't win the game, we'd be motherfucking.
Now, let's be clear, though. If that's what we're judging quarterback play on, then we should be paying Jimmy G next year because his record's phenomenal.
I'm on that boat anyway.
Right? Like, it is what it is. If that's what we're judging, he got us in the game and won the game, then Jimmy G should be our quarterback.
I want Jimmy G to be the quarterback anyway, but that's me. I mean, again, unless a phenomenal offer, unless, I don't know how to say it, but unless whatever.
The only person that I want instead of him is a guy you don't want.
Aaron Rodgers, right? Yeah.
We run the table. You want 16-0? Aaron Rodgers is the man.
I mean, hey, if
Shanahan, this roster, and Aaron Rodgers is 16-0.
If he brings the chip home, then I guess I would shut the fuck up and blow him. You know what I mean? And he'd probably let me, that sick fuck. Because he rolls that way. I know he does.
Let's talk about who won the prediction.
I know. I said, well, yeah, my
nailed it.
I know, nearly. My racist boss was only off by 2 points. 21-20 was his guess, with the final being 23-20.
This offense was rough. The turnovers, the fumbles, the this, the that. This defense was out of its fucking
lights
mind.
out. Yeah.
This defense played like its hair was on fire.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If this offense just played mediocre, we would have fucking blown them out.
And I want to be critical, but here's the deal. What Mozart was that he got the call a couple days before. Deebo only cleared. Trent Williams cleared the day before the game. It's been all this uncertainty. Not sure. I'm sure they didn't get the guys they practiced with all week. I'm sure what didn't end up being the guys that started the game. You know what I mean? I know it's tough to say, but hey, again,
that's the division leader, and we beat him.
That's right. Well, Seattle's now in the lead, right?
Well, at the time they were. Yeah, that's why Seattle's in the lead.
Yeah.
Thanks to us.
So the game.
I mean, it's defense, man. Whew. I got a funny feeling we ain't going to see Robert Saleh next year.
Yeah. Did you see what Sherm said today?
He's been doing that since the game.
About Detroit, though?
I don't know about Detroit, but I know that after the game on the field, first of all, they're interviewing Sherman while he's on the field, and the person interviewing him is in the stands 20 feet away. He's got a mask on the field, and they're yelling the interview to him, which is a joke.
Yeah.
But he was already championing for... He said Robert Saleh will be a head coach next year,
right.
And I'm excited for him, and yada, yada.
He said in his presser as well.
Yeah.
And I even feel like I remember hearing that from him last year. Like,
yeah, when he was up for the Browns job.
He came out this week and said, listen, he's born in Michigan. Detroit's a disaster. What are they doing? This is the guy. He was really like, so, I mean, hey, whatever. Hats off to him, though, because that defense was, I mean, I said it to you, how sexy that fucking, that Kinlaw interception had me rock fucking hard. I was gripping the axe like it was nobody's business.
Other than Freddie, I don't think. I mean, the Richard Sherman interception was great, but I really don't think I would have wanted another player to run that back than our rookie DT. Just watching him after on the presser and watching his pressers the past couple of weeks, he seems like he's ride or die for this team, and for him to get a moment like that in his rookie season, with him showing up a few weeks ago as well with, was it 1.5 sacks? I mean, it was just, I love that Kinlaw got it.
He took it to the crib, motherfucker.
First of all, let's be clear. That play was not him.
No, who hit it? Or
no.
Somebody broke through.
That was Givens.
Okay.
And Kinlaw actually got beat on the play bad on a double team.
Okay.
The double team stood him up, and he had no chance if you watch it.
That's funny what he said in his presser then.
When he had no chance, he said,
dropped back.
Well, fuck it. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
I might as well And if you watch the play, he kind of just steps back and stands there and looks at the quarterback and waits to see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And then made the play.
Fuck it.
And the ball only came to him because of Givens' pressure, though. Like, it wasn't like he jumped in front of a pass.
Right.
He was just in the right place. But his instinct was right. He wasn't going forward. He might as well drop into coverage and hope something happens.
Yeah,
because even if the ball doesn't come his way, if it goes to the other side of the field, he can now move that way easier. Yeah. He's not engaged with someone. He knew he wasn't getting to the quarterback, so he might as well peel off. And it worked out great. And those are the instinctive traits that make a star. If you watch Aaron Donald play football, he never...
What a fucking savage.
You can't expect him to do what the rules of the defense tell him to do.
Yeah.
Because that's not how he plays football. He plays every position on that line, first of all, and he does what's right in the moment.
He's an animal.
And that's what makes him who he is, because he could have kept rushing on half of these plays, but he didn't. He moved over and tackled somebody instead. That's what makes him who he is. So if Kinlaw's got some of those instincts, it could be great. That's
definitely not a bad thing. Yeah, and that's the second or third instinct play he's had this year.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Donald's a beast, but he's 0-4 against Deebo.
That's fucking right. Who?
Did you see Deebo posted after?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good.
What did he say?
It was an old video of Aaron Donald smashing his helmet on the ground against the Niners. I assume it was in frustration, it looked like.
Yeah.
It was, he got a personal foul call. That was when he got ejected from the game. I don't know if he hit Cap or somebody, but it was like one of the first
he's like
years
pissed, and he's like, there's a bunch of Niners in the background, and he like slams his helmet on the ground, and Deebo posted that video with crying, laughing faces.
Right on. Yeah, I liked how Brandon Ayuk he just posted a video of him sweeping his floor fucking right after the win. Good for him.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk should slow down on partying after the Saints game so he could be in the fucking game.
Yeah, because
that got leaked this week.
That he was partying?
Shanahan said that they were hanging out, eating after the win in New Orleans, and they got some positive tests from it. When talking about whether or not they'd be hanging out, because people were saying how this move, I guess we should touch on that, the fact that we'll be playing the rest of our home games in Arizona.
Which there's more COVID there than in the Bay.
Yep. But Shanahan was saying, people were saying, like, do you think this will galvanize your team spending this time together and bonding? And he's like, there's not going to be any bonding.
Yeah.
It's like, when we're home, we work and then we go home. Well, we're going to work and then go home to our hotel rooms. He's like, there will be no hanging out. There's no tables for food to eat at. There's none of that, because after the Saints game, we did that for about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and
you
we had
said the
positive.
win they lost against us.
Yeah,
so,
sorry.
yeah, no worries.
But it was going into the bye.
Yeah.
So they had some time, and he was like basically said that's where we got positive tests from.
But the one thing that kind of makes me nervous about this era, so I guess we should back this up. For those of you who don't know, the 49ers are going to be playing the next couple home games in Arizona because they shut down contact sports in Santa Clara County. So
for 3 weeks
Right.
as of now, which puts us at the 21st.
Yep.
So it's 2 home games and a road game, I think.
Yep.
But the game after that
Is in Arizona. So we're going to be playing.
So we would come home for a couple days and go back.
Which at that rate.
You have to assume. And you also have to assume that California is going to extend it.
Yeah.
So Shanahan was saying today, he just told them all to go week by week. He told them the first week, let's just get there, get settled, focus on the Bills game. And then the second week, we'll worry about how we can make it better.
Right.
Bring families in.
And he said, no matter what, you're going to be home for Christmas. So don't,
he didn't say home. He said with your family.
With your family. Okay.
Because most likely the family's going to be in Arizona.
So the one thing that makes me nervous is he didn't put any, he said, I would think they should say everybody's got to stay in the hotel. But he's saying if guys want to get apartments or Airbnbs, they're more than welcome to. So that makes me a little nervous, but what the fuck?
That's what they're doing at home.
Yeah, I know.
It's no different than home.
I know. What do I just want what I want.
I will say fuck Santa Clara County and every person that works in that fucking shithole. How the fuck, first of all, the team works with them on everything.
Yeah.
Everything the team does has to go through them. They're close partners and they work together on stuff. And the fucking team is finding out on an airplane on their way to play a fucking game that they can't play their next games at home. That's fucking bullshit.
So
there's no reason that they couldn't fucking tell them the day before or the day after. There's no fucking reason. And you know as well as I do, every job you've ever worked at, if bad information leaks to you before your boss tells it to you, you think your boss knew and didn't tell you.
Right.
Right? It's just
Yep.
So now these coaches have to not only deal with all these players thinking we're fucked, we just got fucked, but then also I'm sure a portion of them were like, you fucking knew this all along and didn't tell us.
We had told us now. Yeah, we had to hear it through the press.
Just this fucking nightmare. And Shanahan, Saleh, these guys are just on a plane trying to prepare for this fucking game. Already short-staffed, already going against the division leader, and they just got completely fucked.
So we live on the East Coast, right? But for whatever it's worth, everything I've read, it seems like the county of Santa Clara is making everything, not just COVID, every interaction they've had with the team, there's been problems. The stadium, traffic, concerts on the field. There's been half a dozen fucking things. And I mean, listen, I know that the city of San Francisco wasn't stepping up, but whatever the politics of it are, it sucks that this is where they ended up.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
And they can't even go like there's a stadium across the water that's not being used.
Yeah.
And they can't go use it because every time they come back to Santa Clara County, they got to quarantine for 14 days.
Right.
So they can't go play over there.
Right.
It's so fucking insane.
This whole...
Yeah.
And
you're right. The fact that they have to go somewhere that's worse.
Right.
And I was listening today, and the reason they did that is because Arizona is so lax. So that they're making this big ordeal of moving, but that is probably the last time. Like if things get worse, they're already where they're going to be.
Right.
Whereas if they went to somewhere else and things got worse, they could have to do it all over
again.
Right.
If they went to Seattle
or LA or
Oakland.
San Diego.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
LA rumor quite a bit.
Yeah. But they're saying like they could have done that, and then in 2 weeks LA could have done the same thing, and then they got to fucking do it all over again.
They're
like, let's get
stay
in
Arizona. Yeah.
If anywhere is going to allow, it's going to be Arizona, Texas, Florida.
Yep.
And I heard Dallas was one of the final running spots too.
Yeah.
I will say this: fans are allowed in Arizona.
I know, but the problem for us is
when we get back, we got to quarantine.
That and flying, even just in general, flying. You know what I mean? If it's a drive, for me, if it was a drive, it's a no-brainer. But
the problem for me is I'd have to quarantine. I'd have to cancel all my appointments.
Right. Yeah.
And then if you don't and you get caught, there's fines. They'll close your business. It's a bunch of bullshit.
So I guess while we're on it, we'll just touch on it because we said it before. So yes, as far as I'm concerned, fuck the NFL. There has been no consistency. I mean, what they're doing with the Steelers and Ravens game is a fucking joke. It's fucking disrespectful. They make the Niners play on a short week. Look at what they did to the fucking Broncos. I'm not a Broncos fan. I don't give a fuck if they make them play with 9 guys. But why then extend this fucking out of your way Tuesdays, Wednesdays, keep pushing it back for the Steelers and the Ravens? Why? It's just it's inconsistent and it's fucking horseshit. And if I ever see Roger Goodell, I'm catching the charge. I will fucking murder him. Allegedly.
So let me ask you a question. How many players were on the COVID list when we played the Packers?
I don't know, 4?
3.
On the COVID.
What players?
The 49ers COVID list.
What players?
Yep.
3. The reason that we were so shorthanded was injuries, not the COVID list. Mm-hmm. If we weren't so depleted with injuries, it was Brandon Ayuk, I think it was Deebo, but he was already not playing.
And Trent Williams.
Trent Williams and Kendrick Bourne.
Right?
So 3 players that would have played didn't play.
Important players.
That doesn't matter.
Well,
you can't.
I know.
You can't say it's an important player, we're moving the game. It's not an important player, we're not moving the game. That doesn't. You can't do that. That doesn't work that way. But with the Ravens and Steelers, it's double-digit players that aren't. The whole team and the whole staff has gone through it.
Then they should have to take the forfeit at this point.
Both teams.
Then they both should have to lose.
I know you're never going to admit that the NFL is making the right decision, but it is consistent. First of all, fuck the Broncos. The Broncos lied.
I know
the
those
Broncos
players
didn't
fucked
follow
up,
protocol, and then and the reason the NFL told them to fuck off is because not only did they not follow protocol, they lied and said they did follow protocol. And then the NFL was like, "Oh, that's weird because here's this video of you not following protocol."
Did you see?
So fuck them. That's why they had to play without a fucking quarterback.
Did you see what they did to the Saints too?
Yeah,
that's wild. They took a draft
and fuck the
pick.
Saints too. The Saints are cunts too. You know why?
Oh, because they're the Saints.
No, you know what they said when they got caught? Oh, other teams are doing it too. Fuck you,
That's
fucking rats.
such a snitch
well, yours is on
move.
video and you
Yeah.
got fucking caught, you cunt.
Cunts.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I just despise Roger Goodell, and
That's fair. He's a cunt. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But there's this aura going around that it's mean what they're doing to the players or it's whatever. All the players agreed to this. Way back when this season started, there was a chance right there for anyone that didn't want to do this to opt out, and many did. But we, as humans, as Americans, we have a tendency to look at NFL football players like Tom Brady or Jimmy Garoppolo. They're not all millionaires. If Jimmy Garoppolo never plays it down in football again,
he's set.
He's okay.
Right.
He's fine. Yeah. He could retire tomorrow, and not only fine, he's going to live a better life than any of us are going to live.
Sure, but Dante Pettis is not in that boat.
Not a chance. Or worse, Deebo Samuel.
Right.
If the NFL shuts down tomorrow and doesn't play a game, Deebo Samuel doesn't make any money.
Right, Brendan Ayuk.
He's broken 2 years.
Yeah.
These guys need this. They need, even worse, a guy like Raheem Mostert.
Well, then
that guy's been in the league 9 years and finally got paid, and then he wouldn't be able to make any of that money. You saw his presser. The dude's finally making money for his fucking family. They want to play this fucking game. They want to play football.
But if that's what they want, then they all need to be responsible about it. Dude, you and I have...
But that's the thing. So Brandon Ayuk or Kendrick Bourne or whoever it was fucked up.
Right.
Not Raheem Mostert.
Right.
So how does it affects him? He's the one that's like, I'm trying to make money for my family. I'm losing all this time with my family. I've given up all this shit.
No, I hear you, but
what's he supposed to do?
I don't know. I don't know what anybody's supposed to do. The whole thing's a fucking shit show.
Here's the other thing. Yeah. It's the first time we've ever dealt with this scenario. Yeah. Ever. Like with the different rules in different parts of the country and a pandemic period. And most of us probably think it's bullshit and they should just be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. But the reality is we're stuck in this situation. And I can tell you right now, I would rather watch the 49ers play the Rams without any of our quarterbacks active, without any of our wide receivers active, than not watch the 49ers play the Rams.
No, I hear you. But what I'm saying is, right, look, speaking of unfair, and maybe you got me on the other points, but the NFL should have stepped in and said, you can't have fans in some stadiums and no fans in others. That's unfair to the places that have those rules in effect. There's now home field advantage in Miami or wherever you're allowing fans, where the Niners are playing in a different fucking state, but that's regardless.
That's a whole nother problem.
That's a whole nother. But playing in a stadium, even if it was in Santa Clara, no fans. They should have been at least consistent with that.
It's tough, though, because then you're literally just taking money out of the pocket of a team that can make that money.
I understand, but it's at some point...
And it's not like I don't know that there's home field advantage. 1,200 people is not home field advantage.
I don't know.
I think that's what they have in Arizona is 1,200.
I think
that's like family.
I think the Dallas game had like 30,000 fans, though.
That's pretty big.
That's
pretty big.
They were allowing.
I do agree. Like
20,000 in Tampa, I think.
That's not playing in Kansas City or playing in Seattle or playing in the Superdome.
Right.
But you're right. It's definitely an advantage. I heard George Kittle talking about playing I think it was the Saints game was the first time they played in front of any fans.
Yeah.
He was saying he was pumped to play against it.
Just the vibe, yeah.
Well, and just even whether it's your fans or their fans, you get pumped because you want to shut them up.
Yep.
Or they pump you up.
They add energy to the environment. Yeah.
But you're right. There's something there. I don't know how you fix it.
I agree.
Because you don't want to take the money away. But
and I know because there's the stadium workers and the whole thing, and I get it. And my heart goes out to those people. But at the end of the day,
it's
a competitive league.
And maybe again, this is the first season. When we started, nobody had fans. They added them at weird times. And so maybe if the pandemic were to continue next year, maybe the NFL would say, okay, we fucked this up last year. First of all, I know my protocols at my job are completely different than they were at the beginning.
Right.
Some harder and some, in the beginning, all these rules we were told.
Gloves,
and then it was like, wait a minute, all right, let's not do this, but we need to do this instead. And it's all new. Quite honestly, I think, first of all, every other sport that tried was way more fucked up than the NFL.
Except
maybe the NBA.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, like, with the MLB was the first sport in the U.S., and it was an absolute catastrophe. The NHL was okay.
Now, to be fair, baseball plays like 5 to 6 games a week. So, like, this Steelers-Ravens debacle would have been 12 games fucked up instead of just one. Yeah. So, there is that aspect to it. But, I can't believe we've got this far, first of all.
With nothing major.
And if we didn't have these injuries that we've had, I don't think we'd be bitching about it nearly as much as we are. Yeah. Our real bitch is with our injuries this year, which are probably, let's be fair, somewhat COVID-related from not having training camp.
Right.
But realistically, like I said, I'd rather watch the 49ers practice squad play the Rams practice squad as long as they're in uniform and we're calling them the 49ers than nothing.
Right. On a side note, did you see what Dr. Fauci said today?
You mean Dr. Fauci?
Whatever.
What's funny about that, like, it's one thing when you read a name, but everyone has been saying that guy's name since March. So it's not like you don't know how it's said.
I didn't. I just look at it, and to me, it's Fauci.
What did he say?
He said he envisions fans in the stadium come September. Full stadiums in September. That's what he said today. So he said that
we get to a vaccine.
Yeah.
Except for all the people that aren't going to take it because it's fucking scary.
Right. Okay. So. Oh shit! Ooh-wee, ooh! It's the motherfucking piece of the week. Ooh-wee, ooh! All right, Bob. You're not giving me many options on the offensive side of the ball.
You can pick anyone you want.
I know.
I couldn't find anything. Here's
I don't need it. I
watched
it. Yeah, I'm going with it. Yeah, you got to give it to the man that just doesn't appear to be able to be tackled. You throw the ball at him 13 times. He catches 11 of them for 133 yards. He had a long of 33, and he had crucial plays down the stretch. Absolutely fucking crucial. Got to be Deebo.
Same.
Is that a clean sweep?
That's an easy one.
Yeah, everybody here is nodding 100%. In agreement. Yeah, Deebo is the fucking man.
I got to bring up something while we're here on the offense.
Okay, Papa.
First of all, the thought of Deebo and
Brandon Ayuk, yes.
And George Kittle on the field at the same time.
Yes.
Ooh, and Mostert.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. If we can somehow squeak into these playoffs.
Yeah.
And all of those guys make it back and Jimmy G, no one in this league wants to play that fucking team.
Nope.
If they make it to the playoffs with who they have now, and then those guys come back, no one wants to fucking deal with us.
I mean, in a perfect world, I think we'd like to see Jimmy back for week 16 or 17.
A warm-up.
Yeah. You got Seattle week 17.
I mean, quite honestly, if you give me Nick Mullins and you add George Kittle back in, come and get me.
Yeah, I got
Come and fucking get me.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Deebo's the only person out there that you have to worry about. I mean, there's other players.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne.
Everyone in that stadium knew this drive is going to rely on Deebo, and we still did it.
And I got to tell you, every time that they went to someone other than Deebo, I was like, what are you doing? Just let him run the ball. Just hand the ball off to Deebo. Fuck it. And that one play where he split the two fucking guys, he was down. There was no way that those two men shouldn't have been able to bring that one man down. It was like they weren't even there.
Here's the difference. Tacklers are now thinking before they tackle Deebo.
Yeah, they're like,
that's what you want.
Thinking twice,
After George Kittle's Saints run last year, players tackle you different after you do that. You drag a guy 10 yards and make a clown out of him on ESPN. Nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody. And you make business decisions at that point. You really think about what you're doing, and it creeps in, and that's all we need, just that little bit of doubt. You put George on the other side of the field with the same thing, forget about it. Jalen Ramsey had nothing on this game. He made no impact.
No impact. Yeah.
Just
the only
penalty.
impact he made was the 5-yard penalty. Exactly.
100%.
Fuck that guy.
When you can make that guy not mean anything, that's great. But here's what I'd like to say. I'd like to say that I am going to officially predict Jordan Reed is not on this team next year, and I am not a Jordan Reed fan any longer.
Oh.
I don't like someone that makes a big scene when somebody else fucks up.
Oh,
I don't mind someone making a scene when they fuck up.
Right.
Nick Mullins overthrows Jordan Reed.
Okay.
And Nick Mullins rips his own face mask off, clearly pissed at himself for overthrowing Jordan Reed.
Yeah.
I don't need Jordan Reed throwing his arms up after the ball went over his
missed
head.
that.
Don't need that.
Helmet.
Don't need it. Doesn't help the team. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You and Vernon Davis can go fucking take a walk.
Yeah.
I don't fucking need it.
That's shit, Dix.
If you make the mistake, by all means, smash your helmet, throw something, by all means. But if someone else makes the mistake, I don't want to fucking hear about it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Not cool. Not okay with that.
The thing is, I like his play on the field. He seemed like a nice compliment to George Kittle, but that's the type of shit that fucks up locker rooms.
Not the first time I've seen him do that, but that's the first time I've seen him do it where I was positive it was somebody else's mistake. A couple other times I've seen him do it, but it was possible that it was his mistake. This time it was clearly Mullins, and he still did it, and I'm not
true veteran, a true quality human being goes up to Mullins after that and builds him back up and says, "Yo, I'm there for you."
Even says, "I should have caught that."
Yeah,
that's on me. Even if I'm wrong,
just to give the quarterback the best mentality possible.
No way George Kittle acts like that. No way George Kittle. Not
never.
A chance.
No way Jerry Rice would act like that. No way any of the greats would act like that.
I'm officially past the
Except
Jordan Reed.
maybe Randy Moss.
And he has the potential, because if he could play like that, but also be a good teammate, then him and Kittle and Ayuk and Deebo would be nasty. But I don't need that attitude. Don't need it.
And what pissed me off, too, is the announcer was like, after that play, was like, oh, Mullins is going to have to go up to Jordan Reed and, apologize to him. And I'm like, what?
He's a backup quarterback. You're a fucking veteran, you cunt.
A starter,
and it
Pro
clearly
Bowler.
showed Mullins pissed off. It wasn't like Mullins threw and was like, oh, fucking whatever. Dude should have caught the ball.
Yeah,
no,
he
he
knew.
knew he fucked up.
Yep.
And he, more than likely, Mullins, I agree with Jordan Reed probably should have gone to him. But Mullins seems like the guy, he probably would have gone over to Reed and said something about it. But
I got to imagine Shanahan's going to let him hear that, right?
Somebody, I would, unless, for all, I guess I could be wrong, and Jordan Reed could have taken the wrong route. Maybe he's supposed to be deeper on it.
And maybe he was
and
mad
then maybe
at
Mullins,
regardless.
If that's the case, then Mullins is wrong for acting mad.
Yeah.
So, I guess technically, but it sure looked to me like Mullins overthrew him.
Yeah.
All right, so defensive beast of the week on the other side of the ball. You forgot a stat there, a huge stat. Kerry Hyder also had 2 sacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this was supposed to be 2 sacks.
No, because he also had 2 tackles for loss. So, because I checked that as well. I got to go with that. Kerry Hyder, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits. That's a pressure-filled Sunday. That's like my life.
Go ahead, Kern.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Kinlaw. I just love the he didn't necessarily get the interception, but Givens got in there for him. But I love the play. He acted on it, and I just felt like he was doing pretty good on that line all day. So I'm gonna give it to him.
I'm gonna go with a man that we have.
He was my second.
We've thrown him under the bus many times. We asked them not to sign him many times. We got pissed when they did sign him. And this season has been his redemption season from the start.
It's got to be a contract year.
Jimmy, every year is a contract year when you're going one at a time.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward played like his fucking hair was on fire. I've also noticed this was like the third or fourth game in the row where Jimmy Ward is the tone setter on this defense. Jimmy Ward is the one chirping at people. Jimmy Ward is the one letting the other team know, yeah, motherfucker, we're here. We're here and we're going to make you fucking pay. And he's the one he's the bad cop to Fred Warner's good cop.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward is the bad guy. Fred Warner's the good guy. Yeah. And Jimmy Ward is letting everyone know, if you come over here, you're going to fucking pay for it. And I love it. I love every minute of it. He walks a fine line. Every once in a while, he's going to grab a 15-yarder.
And that's fine.
But as long as
when
he
he's doing it
like
like this, yes.
I mean, 2 forced fumbles in one game
that's
is fucking hot.
And that I think it was the first one. Yeah, the first one. That really set the tone in the first half. That was big.
And if you watch him, he's chirping at the other team's sideline. He's chirping at the other players. He's letting everyone know who he is and what he's here for.
The unfortunate fact about those 2 forced fumbles, how many points did we get off them? 0. Oh, well.
You know what? They just give the defense a rest.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And the field position.
It's demoralizing on top of that. You know? Yeah.
I do want to mention, we all worry about Sherman and his age. And, is he going to be like this? How long are we going to be like this? Jason Verrett has obviously been our number 1 corner all year. I mean, the guy's playing great all year. We all think that this defense, the coaching staff sees Mosley as the future. What you may have noticed or may not have noticed is Richard Sherman played single high safety on one play this week. There was a play this week where we had about 6 DBs on the field, pretty much everybody, and Sherman was playing single high safety. And he's always hinted at safety being his next step.
As his career progressed.
As he loses a step speed-wise, he could still be a thumper and play center field. The thought of him and Jimmy Ward out there, maybe, or him and
Jet Ski Pop-Tart,
Kwaski Tart, or some form of variation of that. I believe it was Marcel Harris had to play linebacker a lot this week with some of the injuries.
Okay.
What a flexible staff we have on defense. I mean, Jimmy Ward can play pretty much every position out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him line up at D line.
Similar to the way that our receivers can run and our vice versa. Same. It seems like it works that way with the DB, with the backfield, as they call it, the defensive backfield.
Absolutely. And just the flexibility of having so many free agents that as long as we get a bulk of them back, they can play all these other positions. But I think it might have been a glimpse into Sherman's future there.
Well, hey, I mean, not a terrible thing. You know what I mean?
Tarvarius Moore as well. He had a kind of quiet game, but what he was doing all game long, when they would run the ball, he would play single high safety, and Jimmy Ward would come down. But they are so flexible together where they can do it on each side. Yeah. And Tarvarius Moore has come down plenty of times and stopped running backs at the line.
Pretty wild.
I mean, to have a defense this fast and this just every player being able to play every position is amazing.
Is it Ward and Tart that have played together since high school?
Wow.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. They let me see it. Keep it going. I'll let you know.
Okay. One other thing I'd like to mention: Kerry Hyder now has 7.5 sacks on the year, tied for 9th in the NFL. That's not too shabby for a guy that nobody. I mean, I know the line is fucked with Bosa and Thomas. And did we talk about D Ford earlier? Did we make mention that he came out that he's not going to be back this year?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I know, but it was more or less official now. So, yeah.
Another quiet guy that played pretty well was Armstead.
Yes, and
he had one of the big plays at the beginning of the game, and I think that's what's helping Kerry Hyder, Givens, those players get in so fast. And to think with Nick Bosa on this line,
it's going to be a different ball game. Yeah,
unstoppable.
They played high school football together in Alabama. They didn't go to college together, but they played high school together.
That's amazing. They came back around in the
Pretty
NFL.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
the other cool Armstead fact, I don't know if you caught it in the text, was that he is on our field goal unit. He is
Most of those guys are.
No, he's the only defensive player on the field goal line. I went through the whole thing, I assure you. He's the only defensive player on the field goal line. I found a still picture of it, and I went through the roster and compared numbers. Trust me, he's the only defensive motherfucker. And by the way, try finding 49ers field goal unit, the full team on the field. I'd challenge anybody.
Well, I wouldn't do that. I would just go to the snap counts and see who played special team snaps.
Oh, okay. See, I knew there was. Okay, great. Well, I didn't know we had these fucking things.
Was this week 12?
Yeah.
This is just going to show offense. I got to find the right website.
Okay.
We'll find it.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
No worries. All right, so you want to do the particulars here? Kern, you got anything else, baby boy?
You know what? I have a quote for you guys.
Mystery
today.
quote?
It's a mystery quote.
Is it pertaining to this game?
It is not. But if you want to do the particulars first.
Well, or we could do it next episode. We're going to do it now.
I would do it now. We're probably going to have a long episode usually.
We'll do it now, Poppy.
Okay.
You do it.
So, I was going to find a harder one, but I think I have to do this. So,
Okay.
the quote goes, "You don't want to go 0-16. This could be my last year. I can't go out like that."
Oh, yeah, I know who it is. It's FGZ. Got to be to Frank
Yep.
Gore. Yeah, we're gonna touch back to Frank Gore next episode in a funny way. We'll tease it at that. I'm gonna drop the particulars on the people right now. Is there anything else I want to say? Well, all in all, the Niners beating the Rams, colossal for the playoff hopes. Really needed this one to keep it alive, especially with the Cardinals' loss this week, right? I believe it lost a thriller to the Patriots on the last play of the game. We needed it. We're one game out of the wild card right now. That 7 seed looks like it's going to have our name on it. If we can get ourselves into proper position and keep this party going. And that's what we're going to talk about next episode. So with that said, here's the particulars. Yo, motherfuckers. Couple weeks, the 49ers are playing the Dallas Cowboys on December 20th. We are going to be doing a live Zoom call for the first half of that game. So all Patreon members, first come, first serve. If you're just a listener and you want to get down, there's going to be 5 to 10 spots. So email us, tell us you want in. I'll put your name into the pile, and hopefully you can join us. I'll be hitting the rig. I'm going to broadcast the game right from my computer, so we're not all watching different feeds at different times. And it's going to be a real nice time. Maybe Rob or Kern will join us if enough of you monkeys show up. So yeah, giddy up, puppy cunts. Drop us an email and talk about anything. I don't give a fuck. goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our Instagram run by the wonderful, lovely Michael Curran. Gold Blooded Podcast, one word. I post my clothing collection on a weekly basis. It's a nice time. Hey, if you're one of the people, in this country that, has a lot of money, we're not some of those people. So maybe you can help us out in these trying times. You go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/goldblooded podcast. You make a donation, 50 cents a week, $500 a week, whatever your budget allows. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps us help you.
I get special teams snap counts.
Special team snap counts. Okay. Any other defensive guys? Kinlaw's been out there for a quarter of them. Yeah. But
this is Armstead's number.
He's
so
out there.
It's similar.
Right. But we don't know. That's not field. It's just special teams. Those guys could be out there on punt. You know what I mean? So it's a very tricky stat to find. So I just found a picture of it, and I went through it that way, all their numbers. It's like all offensive linemen, a couple tight ends, and Armstead.
Interesting. You think to block a field goal, you'd want to pass rush?
No, not block. Oh, blocking for the offensive side of things.
Oh, when we're kicking them.
When we're kicking a field goal.
Okay. I thought you were talking about...
No, the other way. No.
Yeah.
No, so,
I get it.
Yeah. So that's what caught...
So that's actually... I don't even know if that counts as an offensive snap or if...
Right, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the whole thing so weird.
It probably counts as an offensive snap because look at Armstead had 2
all
offensive
year.
snaps.
Oh, for this game.
No, I think it's season.
Oh, so maybe he just does it sometimes. Maybe he was filling in or something. Yeah,
But he did it.
Yeah.
And so did DJ Jones twice.
Okay.
So there must be something to that.
yeah. Maybe they played
Yeah, that makes
offensive in high school or something. Who
Well,
knows?
look,
Kicker too. Yeah, totally.
the 2 times he was there,
He was there.
he was there, and so was
Yeah.
Armstead.
And the rest are offensive. Okay, so I
That's
just
pretty
missed-
wild.
Yeah.
Do we only kick 2 field goals? This can't be all year, right? That's
Got to be. I don't know. Fuck knows. All right. Well, nevertheless, I think I got all the particulars right, Michael.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to keep me in line.
Did you say tattoo shop?
Oh, I did not. I did not. Our sponsor. Lucky Rose Tattoo, motherfuckers, Middlebury, Connecticut. You want to get your 49er tattoo? There's literally only one tattoo shop in the whole country you need to get it done at, and that's here. And now, don't get me wrong, they do other tattoos other than 49er tattoos, but you definitely get a deal on your other tattoos if you come in here and get a 49er tattoo. So give us a look up, Lucky_Rose_tattoo on Instagram. You'll see the beautiful work that this shop pumps out, and we'll put that work on you, motherfuckers. Get in there. With that said, we're going to leave you guys. We're going to gather our thoughts, and we're going to get ready for episode 2, and we'll catch you there, cons, later.